Hey Scorpio, welcome to your love and romance reading for March 2022, or whenever you happen to stumble upon the video, whenever it's time for you to hear the messages. This is for Scorpio Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. If you're tired of love readings, you came to the right channel, you just clicked on the wrong video. Every week I do a forecast, and I am actually also pulling cards of the day on the channel as well, where we talk about everything other than love and romance. But once a month, I focus on love, and that's what this is here, Scorpio. Scorpio Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. One more shuffle, and let's get right on into it, my dears. The first card coming up for the Scorpio collective is the Judgment card. Ooh, this is a major arcana card, okay? Major arcana cards are going to come up when we're at a significant new chapter in our life. This is a defining moment. When major arcana cards come up for me in a love reading between two people, it tells me that this is a relationship that you guys have had a lot of past lives together, and there's a contract between the two of you. There was an agreement made that you would meet in this lifetime for a specific reason. And looking at the major arcana card, it tells me what that specific reason is. Now, some of you have heard me say that the Judgment card, for me, a lot of the times comes up when somebody is pulling you off your life path, or you guys have different life paths. But the Judgment card also means answering a calling. And I feel some of you have been feeling very moved to answer a calling, and you're serious about it. Like, you've finally taken the decision in yourself that this is what I'm going to do, right? This is what I'm going to put first in my life. This is the work I'm being called to do. This is what's taking precedent in my life. And so it's on this path that you're meeting this significant partner or significant soulmate. This person is helping you with being on this path and answering this calling. Now, they might not be someone who's doing the same work as you. Maybe you're feeling called to volunteer or teach, and maybe they're not taking an interest in volunteering or teaching. Or maybe you're feeling called to do spiritual work, and this person's like borderline atheist. They don't have any kind of spiritual inclination, but still you guys have a very strong connection, very strong bond. This is someone who's going to be supportive of what you're doing, right? They might not understand it. They might not be doing it with you, but somehow in this relationship, they're providing the space or the support that's allowing you to do it. I don't mean to be blunt, and I don't mean to be rude, but it's a message that's coming in, and I have a rule. You know, my boss here is the spiritual realm and the messages that come in, and I'm not allowed to edit. Now, Scorpios are seen as very sexual beings. Or that we heal through sex, or that it's a very transformative thing for Scorpios. And so for some of you, it's just very quite basically that this is someone whom, like, your relationship, it's not only about the bedroom, it's not only about the physical intimacy, but this is someone who's highly compatible with you in that physical intimacy, and that's the support that they're giving you. They're giving you emotional support. They're giving you that physical satisfaction. They're sharing meals with you. They're talking about how was your day. They're spending time with you, like that companionship. And it's that physical presence that is supporting you in your work. even if it's spiritual work that you're doing, because this is a relationship or connection that's keeping you grounded. We can't be in the spiritual connection all the time. We'll be loopy. We'll be like in another world, like, hello, Earth to Scorpio, come back to Earth, Scorpio. So this is a connection for some of you that's keeping you grounded, that's keeping you in the Earth energy, but also this is allowing you to continue in your spiritual work or whatever the calling is that you're feeling called to do. Like this is someone who's filling your cup in physical ways, and you're filling their cup physically as well as emotionally, or however else you all choose to be there for one another. But I feel for some of you, you might be very different in the way that you look at the world or in the things that you're both feeling called to do. But there's a strong past life connection, and you all are like balancing each other out, right? You're balancing each other out in those opposites, but you're still also working together and supportive of each other and what each of you is feeling like you want to focus on, or what you're wanting to make your life's work. The next card that's coming up here for Scorpio, is the Knight of Swords. Now, the Knight of Swords could indicate an air sign person. The air sign people are Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini. So some of you could be dealing with an Aquarius, a Libra, or a Gemini. However, the fact that they're showing up as the Knight of Swords tells us that this could be kind of a dominant or very opinionated person. Okay? This could be someone that maybe can be very curt, very direct, very blunt, very sure of their opinions. And for some of you, this might be something that you're having to examine and see if there are any pearls of wisdom, okay, in what they're saying or what they're having to offer. But this could be someone who's maybe a little bit opinionated or a little bit insistent, like this is how it has to be. This is how it has to be. I don't normally pull clarifiers in the weekly videos or in the monthly videos. I do pull clarifiers when I do private readings, but I'm feeling like I want to pull clarifiers here around this Knight of Swords, because maybe this could be a Gemini, because if you're watching and if you're a Gemini, don't get mad at me. I'm saying this just out of observation. I have Geminis in my life. I have very close friends and family who are Geminis, and I love Gemini. I'm not trying to put Gemini down. But Gemini can kind of change their mind fairly quickly, and Gemini can be Gemini is called the twins, right? And sometimes people kind of joke there's the nice twin and there's the mean twin. And that's, I don't know, I'm getting like this flip-floppy energy. Like on one hand they're supportive, but then on one hand it's like, wait a minute, what are you doing? So I don't know if this is someone who is getting jealous, or who is feeling left out, or who goes back and forth about whether or not they're supportive about what you're doing. I'm feeling a conflicting energy, and so I want to pull clarifiers. Why is this Knight of Swords here? Please, clarifier 1. Please show us clarifier 2. Please show us clarifier 3. The Tower. The Eight of Wands. And the Ten of Cups. Yikes. Okay. This person might be more sure about this connection than you are, or they might be more sure or more convinced before you get there, right? They may figure out before, hey, Scorpio, like, let's do this. I'm serious. It's go time. Let's not waste time. And you might be like, well, wait a minute. I'm not there yet, right? Like, what's the hurry? What's the rush? Let's take our time. So I feel something may be happening here with the Tower and with the Eight of Wands, where this relationship is getting sped up. It's getting escalated. It could be because of things that are happening in the world dynamic. We're going to be experiencing a lot of shifts and a lot of changes. And there could be a situation here where, because of what's happening on the political front, or what's happening economically, or what's happening in the country where you live, this might be a situation where this person feels like this is how we can make sure that we're not going to be separated, or this is how we can make sure that we're gonna be together, right? I don't know, maybe for some of you there's an immigration situation. The Eight of Wands could indicate travel. Maybe there's like an impromptu relocation for some of you. Maybe you all are living in a specific place, but they might have something coming up with their career, or you might have something coming up with your career that's causing you to move to another state or another country. And it might be speeding up the process of moving in together or getting married. I feel there might be an element of travel, and it's kind of you're having to do this to be together for some of you. Now, the travel itself or the commitment itself might not happen exactly in March. It could happen maybe a few months from then. But I feel that this is a relationship that's going to get escalated, that's going to get sped up. Now, the Ten of Cups tells us that this is going to be a happy relationship. This is someone that has good intentions towards you. This is someone who wants a happy life and a happy home. Some of you might also kind of find yourself in a situation where you're having to balance where you're falling into an existing family. And that can be some of the challenges or some of the things that are being emphasized, or the things that this person is insisting on. They might have parents that they're caring for, or they may have children from a previous relationship. They may be co-parenting, and you might be like, look, you know what? You and your ex can co-parent all day, every day, however you want. I'm cool with it. I'm not jealous. I don't care. You guys can talk. You have kids. I get it. But you might find yourself in a situation where you're getting pulled into it, where this person's spouse is like, well, they're going to be around our children. I need to know who Scorpio is. I need to spend time with Scorpio. And you can't blame them. I don't have kids, but if I had kids, I probably would maybe feel that way. So maybe some of you are feeling like you're getting pulled into this situation where you're like, oh gosh, like, can't you guys do this without me? And they're like, no. So maybe you feel like you're having to juggle that, or you're having to balance that, to get into like a family dynamic or a group dynamic that you're joining because of a previous relationship or because of family obligations. I don't feel like anybody's being mean to you. Like, I don't feel like anybody's being mean to you, or anybody's like being catty or competitive or anything like that. But I feel like it might be a situation where you're like, it's cool, you guys do your thing, and they're like, no, you have to be a part of this too. Like, it's not just a relationship. You're joining some kind of unit, some kind of family dynamic for some of you. And this is like a non-negotiable thing for some of you. The next card that's coming up here for Scorpio is the Seven of Wands. So the Seven of Wands, it comes up in a couple of different ways. Seven of Wands might be that, you know, you're having to have a balance, or a balance with the dynamic of the people in this person's life, right? Like, where you're not really going to go too much into the details of your personal life, or you're not going to go too much in the details of the work that you do, or open yourself up for discussion or opinions. You might be feeling like you got to keep some things on a need to know basis with the people in this person's life. I don't know why, but I feel like you're getting a lot of questions. Like, you're getting questions from all angles, and you're kind of like, you know, people are seeing you as like, ugh, like, uh, I'm sorry to say, Scorpio, but like a little bit annoyed. Like, why is it like pulling teeth talking to Scorpio, or why Scorpio being all mysterious? Like, I'm asking these questions and they're just like barely giving me answers. And so some of you might be feeling like you're being cautious of the people in this person's life in terms of like your personal business, your past, your work, your plans for the future. You might be feeling like, I don't want to tell these people too much too soon. And you may be doing the right thing here with the Seven of Wands, because sometimes for me, Seven of Wands is people like wanting to pull you into a debate, or pull you into what they want you to do. They might not be asking you with a sincere intention. They may be asking you with an ulterior motive. So you may be right to not divulge too much. Seven of Wands also comes up for me like about standing your ground or standing your boundaries. I don't feel like this is a bad person, but I do feel like this is someone where they're very persistent, and they like to get their way. And they may nag you and nag you and nag you and nag you until you get your way, until they get their way. And you might say, oh my gosh, Amethyst, I'm a Scorpio. I don't deal with that nonsense. I tell somebody once no, and if they don't hear my no the first time, I'm out of there. Well, Scorpio, I have to say, and maybe for some of you this is not going to be the case, but for those of you that this is the case and this is your reading, you have a strong past life with this connection. You have a strong past life connection. You have a strong connection with this person, with this soulmate. And sometimes there's people that we have very strong connections with that they get away with certain things that typically we wouldn't tolerate. And I feel this is a very insistent person. And on one hand, Scorpio, you find this absolutely sexy about this person. Like, when you see them out there in the world handling their business, or not taking no for an answer, or going after what they want, you're like, oh my gosh, look at this sexy alpha beast. But then when it comes to you, you're like, you don't like it so much, right? Now, I'm just going to say, choose your battles. Choose your battles. There is going to be an element of Seven of Wands where you really have to stand your ground, because if you give an inch, it's going to turn into a mile, right? Kind of like that children's book, If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. What happens if you give a mouse a cookie? If you give a mouse a cookie, he'll ask you for a glass of milk. If you give a mouse a glass of milk, he'll ask you to read him a bedtime story. If you read a mouse a bedtime story, he'll want to brush his teeth. If you let him brush his teeth, he'll want to sleep in your bed. It's like this whole chain of events that occurs, right? And so this is what you need to know about this person. You're thinking that you want to compromise, but this isn't someone who compromises. This is someone who might be very black and white, right? Who might be very all or nothing. So there may be some instances in which you have to say, okay, this is a nothing scenario. This is a nothing situation, because there's not going to be a compromise. And other things you might give in, or you might say, you know what, this isn't a deal breaker. It's not that serious for me. I can let this person have this one. I can give in on this situation. But you're going to have to know when to stand your ground. One more thing about the Seven of Wands and we'll move on. The Seven of Wands says this is not the time to be extra, right? So if you're feeling like you want to go the extra mile for this person, or you really want to impress them, this might have the opposite effect. This might be someone who likes the simpler things. This might be someone who prefers more very just kind of no pretenses, no pretentiousness, just very simple, natural, down to earth, casual connection, right? This is somebody that maybe prefers natural beauty, natural body types, natural interactions. They don't want to see the extra. So if you are somebody who maybe is a bit of a performer, maybe you're in a creative path, maybe you're doing something where you're a bit of a public figure and you're used to kind of performing or hamming it up, they want the real you. They want the you outside of that. So there's no need to impress. There's no need to be charming. There's no need to be charismatic, right? I feel this is a no frills kind of person, and they want you in a no frills kind of energy. The next card that's coming up here is the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups is having to make a decision and having several options. For some of you Scorpios, you're having to choose between more than one option in terms of a relationship. Okay? I feel that the person that you're with has chosen you out of many options and many chances they had, and they might be kind of frequently reminding you of that. Like, hey, I chose you. I chose you. I could have been with other people, but you're the one I wanted to be with. And I feel like they're saying it to you because they feel like you're seeing them as like they don't appreciate you, or like they're not satisfied, or like they're asking for a lot. And I feel this goes down to the thing of where, I'm sorry to say, but there's a strong connection here, but I do feel there's an issue here with boundaries, right? Like as I said, there might be certain things that you don't want to give, you don't want to budge. And so when they try again, instead of you taking that as, okay, well, this is this person's personality, this is kind of how they're wired, like this is kind of like their drive, you're taking it as, well, you're trying to change me, or you're not happy with me. And they're like, what do you mean I'm trying to change you? What do you mean I'm not happy with you? I could have been with all these other people. I didn't want those people. I wanted you, Scorpio. You're the one I wanted to be with. Like, why are you sitting here and telling me that I'm not happy with you? Why are you sitting here and telling me that I'm not satisfied? I could go and I could get that somewhere else, but I want you and I want to be with you, right? So I feel like this is something that's coming up a lot, and you might get offended. You might take it as, oh, well, you keep throwing it in my face like you could have been with anybody. They're not saying it as like, I don't need you, I could be with anyone. They don't mean it in that way. They mean it in the opposite way. They mean it in the way that I could have been with anybody else, but you're the one that stood out to me, right? Like, out of all those people, I saw you. Out of all those people, I wanted to be with you. They're not saying it in an insulting way where, hey, well, you know what, I have other options. They don't mean it in that way. Like, they mean it like, I'm trying to tell you that I love you. I'm trying to tell you that you're the one I want. So that's kind of coming up as a heads up for you to avoid a miscommunication for some of you. Scorpio, those of you also who are going to have a lot of choices or options, you're going to have to make a decision much sooner than you would rather make the decision, right? As I said, maybe you want to take your time, and maybe you're not in a hurry, but things are going to get escalated, and you're going to have to make a decision sooner rather than later. I would say pray, meditate. Um, but I just have to say, this feels to me like somebody that they're used to getting what they want and they want you. I feel like this is going to be a very persistent person. So even if you tell them no, or even if you turn them down, right? Taking me back to that Knight of Swords, that laser beam focus, like I've got my sights set on you. I've got my sights set on you, Scorpio, right? Like this is going to happen. I feel this is a really persistent person. And they will keep pushing. And you have to know that it's not out of disrespect for you. This is how this person's wired. And there's going to be times in your relationship where this personality trait is going to come in very handy. Like this is someone who will stand up for you, who will fight for you, who will bat for you, right? Who will help you in your business, who will help you in your work. Like, you know, they're going to be that bulldog for you. But they're going to be a bulldog in other things too. And you're just going to have to learn when to just kind of stand your ground and not get offended that you have to be so persistent and saying no, 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 no. This is the way this person is wired. And it's going to have very big benefits for you, but it might also kind of irritate you. The next card that's coming up here is the Star. This could be Aquarius energy. If you have an Aquarius placement, there can be a big change or shift happening for you in those areas of your life. You could be dealing with an Aquarius. I said air sign. Maybe for some of you it's an Aquarius person. Or they could have an Aquarius placement. However, with the Star card tells us that this is a very happy future. This is where you can actually make long-term plans that are going to be successful, that are going to work out. The Star card also indicates that there's going to be a financially stable, secure, comfortable retirement. This is someone that you can retire with, that you can enjoy life with. You're going to have a secure financial future with this person. Star card is also like making a name for yourself, being seen, being celebrated, right? So this is someone who maybe is supporting you in your goals and who is happy to see you be successful. For some of you, this could even be like if you are doing something in terms of where you're a bit of a public figure, or you're doing something creative, or you're doing something in entertainment or in podcasting or something. This might be someone who's kind of stepping in and taking the role of manager, okay? Taking the role of manager, like business manager, promoter. They might actually be getting you out there. Hence that whole bulldog energy. I said there's going to be times when that aspect of their personality is going to serve you really well, right? You'll benefit from that aspect of their personality. But like for some of you, I feel like this is someone who's like putting you out there, like getting you seen in some kind of way, or they feel good. They feel good like, yeah, you know, that's my Scorpio out there, right? Like isn't Scorpio amazing? Like they like that you're getting that attention, or they like that you're successful, and they're helping you like in the shadow. They're helping you in the background. You might want to check out your moon sign, your rising sign, your Venus sign. If this is none of those, sometimes it might resonate more. You can click on the link in the description, calendly.com/amethystangelite, and schedule a private reading with me there. Don't forget to check out the weekly forecast and the daily messages. And I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. Take care, my dears. Be well, Scorpio. Bye.